I be getting the 10 years ago you said this, and I'm like, yeah, that'll get me canceled. One way or another, they're gonna find something about me to cancel me. So I'm not running for mayor, I'm not running for president. Whatever you see, I said that shit.
Do you think that's gonna go away? Is it a fad? I feel like the kids that are growing up, they're more prevalent on social media. They're almost like getting self-censored because they're seeing what people can and cannot say and what they get canceled for now. Do you think it's going to be like more dull down the road?
Nah, I think people will always find a way to put a creative spin on things. You'll just have to be even more creative to say what you want to say without getting canceled type deal.
Yeah, and I think people resonate. Like, that's why Jake Paul and like Andrew Tate and Joe Rogan, like these people have blown up high followings because they go against the grain on what like the society is telling you can and cannot say.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
I think what he does is he really speaks his mind, and it's like he doesn't pick a side for real. He just says like, this is what it is. The Other Wes Moore, that was like probably the book that really resonated with me the most. A kid from Baltimore has the same name as another kid from Baltimore. One of those kids the one who wrote the book ends up becoming now the governor of Maryland. The other one is in jail for the rest of his life based on decisions that they both individually made and like who they were around and like who their family was and stuff like that. So it like kind of opened my eyes to like, you can have the same name as somebody, or not even the same name, like you can have two different lives and all it takes is one bad decision or like hanging with one bad person type deal. So
it's also perspective. You had like a alcoholic dad, and I could look at that as like, well, my dad was an alcoholic, so I'm probably gonna be one. Or you can have the opposite, like he was this way, so I'm gonna make sure that I don't have that same issue.
My mom passed away when I was like 9 months old. So because my mom passed away, my dad had to bust his ass. So like I saw what a hardworking person was and like someone who didn't make any excuses because he didn't have the opportunity to. And because he was working so hard, he wasn't able to necessarily be around and be as active in my life as I would have wanted. But that's what made me independent. That's what made me intuitive. That's what made me like keen to a lot of things that have made me the person that I am today. So like I take that negative and then find the positive in that.
So this book, 0 to 1.
I hear them talking about it a lot on different podcasts.
Yeah, I've read it a few times. Like we were talking about taking something that's already made and just making it and rebranding it, or taking something and making it better. This one is like Steve Jobs, like no phone to iPhone. He has this question that he asks everyone that's interviewing: what important truth do very few people agree with you on? Yeah,
I feel like manifestation is something that's viewed as cliche and idealistic, but like it's real shit. If you speak in negativity into yourself every day, naturally that's what's gonna happen. Cause like everything that you think, it really affects your health. So like constantly putting positive thoughts in your head is what will allow you to stay healthy. It'll allow you to like live out your dream and whatever your purpose is type deal. So like those words are everything.
The law of attraction, right?
Exactly.
What you ask from the universe is what you'll get. Receive,
OC.
Right? It feels like very rarely stuff is new. Like it just feels like it's redone. So Disney is making a new Little Mermaid, and she's going to be black. And then Peter Pan, they're making a new Peter Pan, and Tinkerbell's going to be black.
Interesting.
This might be a weird take. What they are trying to get out of that doesn't serve black people better, like by doing that. Personally, I would rather see
a completely new character.
A completely new character. Like I feel like that brings in more creativity.
Yeah, I feel like it lacks creativity, but in terms of on a business sense, it makes the most sense, because if you think about the money that it takes to build out a new character, build the hype for that character, and then it takes years on years to like be like, okay, Spider-Man is now a worldwide name. Superman is somebody that's been known for generations, but if you build a whole new character, you start from square one type deal. So it's like, why don't we just make them black? Or like, why don't we just make them gay? You know, like different things like that. And then they can use it. They'll say like inclusion and like people want representation, but these are businesses trying to make money and profit at the end of the day. So
you're saying the goal is money.
Yeah.
And so the quicker route to more money is to just change the skin color. Yeah. Do you want kids?
Yeah, eventually one day, for sure.
Would you send them to public school?
I would send my kids.
If you had money to send them to private school, would you still send them to public school?
Yes, but it would be a public school that is in a good like area that has a good reputation type deal. Just because I feel like paying for school is just it's a pride thing for me, honestly. Like it's just something that I don't really see as a need. That money could go towards helping somebody else that needs to have access to school or education. So it's like, I wouldn't want to pay for a private school. I would just find a really quality public school or county where the kids are going to get good education.
I don't think I've been around a lot of private school people.
All the DeMatha folks we play with in Maryland, but they all got there because they didn't have to pay for school. You know, they got to be on scholarship.
I think it's different for sports.
Exactly.
Though.
Sports give you that cheat
different.
code.
It's
yeah.
a very humbling.
Sports
is a very humbling thing.
Yeah, so if you can go to private school and play sports and go there for free, definitely, because it's like you're getting that exposure, but you're not even having to pay to go to the school. So I would, if my kid can like be a dog at some sport, or when he's a dog at some sport, or her, and they go to private school for free, yeah, by all means.
If I lived in an area where it wasn't as good public schools, I would send them to private school if they had like, it would be a security aspect, because the education probably isn't going to be that much different from public to private. Like I'm pretty sure they're still not teaching you how to understand any basic thing that you need when you graduate.
Because they don't do it in college.
Right. Oh my God. I mean, have you ever used calculus?
Never.
You own multiple businesses.
Yes, never.
Waste of my time and so much stress. Because usually when I set a big goal, I sort of break it down into like sections or milestones.
Yeah.
And then I break those milestones into daily activities as much as I can, or else I just won't get as close as I would without that. If I just have like the big goal of building this full warehouse for a place that's thousands of miles away, like I'm just
crazy.
like, dude, where the hell do I even start? Like how does your mind work with getting a big goal accomplished?
Yeah, for starters, I'm like, all right, I have this big goal in mind. This is what I want to achieve, and this is the reason that I want to achieve it. And then from there, I start from like knowledge, like how can I learn everything about what I need to know, and like who can put me in the right position where I can learn everything that I need to know. And then from there, it's daily tasks for me, honestly. So, and then I'll check in. I have benchmarks where it's like, all right, by this date, I should have this much done. And then I check and see, all right, how much did I get done? And then I rank, all right, did I get all my number one tasks, which are my most important tasks, done? Then I have my secondary, did I get my number twos done? And then usually it's like the number three stragglers, and it's like, all right, how can I either get these tasks done or delegate them to somebody else to start to knock them out? And then from there, you just start chipping away at the big block, and like progress starts to happen exponentially, kind of like a snowball going down a cliff. You just pick up traction.
It's pretty hard to plan out things. Like, it sounds like you're better at just sort of doing it and then figuring out what's next. I'm pretty much the same way. And I think that from listening to a lot of entrepreneurs that have, or a lot of founders that have successful businesses, they're the same way. They just sort of jump into the fire and then they'll find the water.
Literally, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing when I started Vay. I just was like, I want to be better than this dude, Kevin Plank, and I want to be better than Under Armour. And then I was like, all right, YouTube University. And it's so much easier nowadays to like, you can literally go to YouTube and learn any and everything. There's no excuse for you not to do the things that you want to do, because you can, if you spend enough time, you can learn it, and then you take action on that. So like, I was like, I want to be better than Under Armour and Kevin Plank. Let me watch these YouTube videos, find these manufacturers, and then from there getting samples. Then from samples becomes products, and then you work on like the nitty gritty with like, all right, how am I going to kind of market this product in that way type deal. So,
yeah. I mean, we had a conversation at this taco place in Bethesda, and you were talking about, I was asking you like about the trademarks and LLCs and stuff, and you're like, yeah, I just get an LLC whenever I have like a business there. And I was like, damn, that seems so hard. And then
everybody thinks it's hard, and that's why LegalZoom and all those businesses are killing it. Because like when you think like legal limited liability company, it's like, fuck, this is gonna be like all this judicial paperwork. You literally go on the website and then it takes like 10-15 minutes, and
you think it's really expensive, and then
cheap.
As I explain it to other people that ask me about it, it's like, it sounds so simple in my mind to do it, and then I could see like the hardest thing is just getting started.
Doing it,
for the most people.
Just jump into it, literally. And project that you're gonna do it, because then there's accountability. Like whenever I'm gonna do something, I always like post it in my close friends or on Instagram, because then people will check in like, hey, whatever happened to like this, or whatever happened to that. Like people be like, hey, what happened to you making $1 million?
Right.
Like, I failed. It's like I didn't fail. I was like, I just realigned myself, because I owe them an explanation of like, because I said that I was gonna do this. When they ask me a question of what happened, then it's like, all right, I'm either a bum ass dude, or I give them an explanation as to why I didn't achieve that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I don't set wild goals that sound unbelievable anyways, it's harder for me to work towards them.
Yeah, shit is lame and achievable.
Yeah, and especially if you tell other people the accountability of just like, 100%. I don't want to let this person down, definitely is helpful as well. What do you think people most misunderstand about you without hearing you speak? When you walk into a room and you're not friends with the people, and maybe you have like casual conversations, or you don't say anything at all, what do you find that people misunderstand about you the most?
I feel like everybody thinks that I'm like I always want to like just talk and like rap and just stuff like that, but most of the times I just be wanting people to shut the fuck up. Like, I have my moments where I'm high energy and stuff like that, but like I also have my moments where like I don't really want to like talk to anybody, and I feel like people feed so much off of like my energy and my persona and who they think that I am in their heads, that like when they be around me they kind of be uneasy. They feel like they have to talk about business, or like, oh yeah, I'm trying to do these things, or like just speak their mind. I'm like, nah, you don't got to say a word. We can just sit in this room in silence, you know? So it's like there's like a performative nature of my interactions with a lot of people that can be kind of tiring. And like when I do meet new people, it's like I have to give them my best self, because they done see me on social media as one person. They done see me in posters and gyms, so like they expect me to be high energy. So that's just it. But what about you? What are some of the things that you've experienced?
I barely ever smile, really. So it's like people just think like I'm mean or like off-putting. But really, I'm the same way. I'd rather listen like twice as much than I speak, because a lot of the things I say, it takes me a lot longer to like think about it, and before I have like a opinion on it, because I like to run it through my brain a couple times to get there. And so like if I'm meeting new people and they're casually talking, and then like they're asking me how I feel about something, like I want to sort of think about it a lot longer, and that could just seem like I'm uninterested, or that I'm like being rude or think less. But
I just don't want to say bullshit.
Speak bullshit, you know? I'm just like, if I'm not providing anything valuable, I'm just not going to speak about it. Yeah, that's
how I feel too. And like I feel like people think that I'm like people think that I'm intelligent and like I have a lot of things to say, but like everything that I've said, I've thought about 1,000 times, and I've gone over with myself 1,000 times, and like looked at it from different angles to then provide my opinion on it. So like that's why I speak it the way that I do, because I done already processed it many and many times over, and it's almost become me type deal.
Yeah, I'm not one of the people that get nervous and start speaking. Like
I be quiet. I'm like, I'm chilling.
Super quiet until I have something confident that I want to give out. Is there a time of day that you get your best work done?
Yeah, between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. when nobody's awake. Nobody to bother me, nobody to text me, no social media feed refreshing, just silence.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's my saying. Like 12 to 3 a.m. is like when I get my most creative and like most important work, because I know that no one around me is awake, and most of the people in the world aren't awake, or like around my location are awake. And I just feel like this weird sense of like free time to like do whatever I want creativity wise, before it's almost like I have to go back into the grind of the schedule.
That's literally how it is for me too. Like I like that. I almost be wanting to like, let me sleep during the day, but because of my businesses, I have to be like active and engaged and stuff during the day. But like if I could sleep during the day, work at night for at least a couple of months, I feel like I would make a lot more progress than when
I was listening to Lil Yachty explain his the rapper Lil Yachty, and he said that he goes to bed around 10 a.m. and then wakes up around like 6 p.m. And then that's when he goes into the studio, and like he lives his whole like life at night. Damn. Basically.
That's crazy.
I feel like that would make me depressed if I didn't see the sunlight every day.
I don't think you can sustain that.
What's your biggest pet peeve? I hate when people chew with their mouth open.
I don't think I have any like physical bodily things that like kind of irk me. People that are messy, like that aren't orderly, those people like throw me off a lot. I would say being messy or being unhygienic, like that's like a
big red flag for you.
I don't like that. Right now it is 2:35. Knew tomorrow at 2:35 that the world was gonna end. What would you do? You got 24 hours left.
Damn. Only I knew, or everyone knew? Is it like chaos outside?
Nah, just it's like a regular day.
Regular day.
Yeah, everything's
people aren't
calm.
Like looting and shit like that.
Just real calm, like real regular day, just like right now.
I would grab my family and my girlfriend. I would hike to a mountain and just bring like a picnic and just chill and just be out in nature. I'm like, the dinosaurs saw this shit. I guess if it was cool with them seeing it, I'll see it too before I go out. I definitely wouldn't think about money at all in any sense if I'm gonna die, because it really doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing that really I could buy where I'm gonna have that same day that's worth enough money.
I knew tomorrow, 24 hours from now, the world was gonna end. I would just take all the people that I love and be like, hey, let's just go to this mountain, or let's go to this beach, and then I'd take some shrooms and just realize, just be out there and kick it.
That was gonna be the next question I was gonna ask. Like, if you knew you're gonna die, whether it's whatever the reason is that day, like you woke up and you just knew that you're gonna die that day, would you want to be sober, or would you want to be under the influence of a drug?
I wouldn't want to be under the influence of a drug per se, but like I would do some shrooms because I feel like it would make me like one with the earth, and like I'd really be present in that moment and really be feeling a lot of emotions. I would want my last emotions to be the most clear and most intense emotions that I could feel, and I feel like that would allow me to kind of tap into my inner self.
Fuck, man. So, I've never done shroom. I've done the little European ones, but I've never done actual shrooms.
Yeah,
I just feel like I'd be in that mindset, like I just want to chill before this happens, and then I'd take shrooms and be like,
you'd start freaking out.
I gotta build a fucking bunker.
Yeah,
like, or something crazy.
It just depends on where your mindset is, because I'm like somewhere where it's like I just take life as it comes, a day at a time. So it would just be like, this is what it is. I can't control it. I can just control my response to it and just find peace in that, honestly.
Do you eat fast food?
Rarely.
What's rarely?
Like I've had McDonald's probably like once in the last 6-7 months or something. But like if you consider like Chipotle or fast food.
No.
Okay, yeah, I don't eat like Burger King,
processed
nothing,
stuff
Taco
like
Bell,
that.
nothing like that.
Have you always been like that, or did you eat a lot in college?
Yeah, I've always been like that, just because growing up my parents didn't buy food out. They would make a meal, like African culture, Nigerian culture. They make a big pot of rice on Sunday, and that's what you eat every day for dinner the rest of the week type
Really?
deal. So there wasn't no like going out to dinner and stuff like that. It was all about survival, sustenance, and just making the most of what you got. So then when I got to college, I was like, all right, I can eat in this football house and eat these meals every single day, because I've been doing this. I'm getting a different meal every day now. Like, I was like, I'm blessed. Everybody was like, bro, this gossip food, this football house food sucks. I used to be in there like, shit, give me 2 plates so I can take them home and eat them later.
I loved it.
Yeah, like gossip food was so torch.
I love that food, but I grew up on fast food, sadly. Like, and so, I mean, when I checked into college, I was like 330, 40 pounds.
Crazy.
So it's like,
how much do you weigh now?
250.
That's crazy.
And I got down to like 230.
100 pounds on.
Yeah.
100 pounds less human. That's crazy.
Like, I mean, I was 230, or I was 250 8th grade.
That's nuts.
Like, and not healthy weight. Like,
that's crazy.
So yeah, I guess like that really does factor in what your parents bring you up on food.
Yeah, definitely.
My girlfriend grew up in Costa Mesa, right below LA in California, and a bunch of beautiful seafood there, but her parents never ate seafood. Like, they were just big on like sloppy joes and like pan fried hamburgers.
Jeez.
And so like I've like changed her life having to like try lobster and fish and stuff, but it's crazy how much of a impact your parents make on the decisions that you make in your life.
Yeah, that shit is the real deal. That's why I don't want to have kids anytime soon, because I know how important their development relies on the things that I say and that I do, and I just don't feel like I'm ready to necessarily pour into another living being in that sense, because I'm still learning myself. I'm still very much in the period of time where like I'm working to try to become the person that I want to be. So like I don't want to introduce a variable that would distract me from that. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Growing up, I thought my parents knew everything. Like, I thought they had the answers to literally everything in life. I don't know if you felt the same way, but that's something that really changed my perspective growing up, and like learning how the world actually works. It's not as nice as it seems. I was just like grateful that I grew up in a place where there wasn't a lot of violence, or I didn't have to like join a gang or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you is that the same for you?
Yeah, I would say when I was younger, I used to view adults as like know all, be all type deal. And then even for a period of my time in high school and college, I was like, all right, I'm smart, I'm like pretty adept, but like there's just people that have all the answers. But then as you get older, what I've started to realize is like nobody is perfect. Us as humans are flawed by nature. So like everybody from the president to the smartest person in the world, like they make mistakes, and like everybody is just trying to figure it out. Some people might figure it out better, more efficiently, like faster than others, but like nobody has the answers. Everybody has a problem, and then they try to find a solution. And then once I started seeing that, I was like, no one person is better than the other.
Yeah.
You know? I'm no better than somebody else, and somebody else is no better than me. So if there's something that I want to do that somebody else is doing, I can do that.
Just like older children.
Yeah,
really.
literally.
Like,
everybody's just trying to
no
figure
one
it out.
really ever figures anything out.
Yeah.
Like there has been, I mean, we have, I think it's like 6 billion or 8 billion people on Earth, and no one knows no one can say
That's
scientifically where we came from.
That's a great point.
No one. Like they have figured out, Aztecs thousands of years ago figured out like planetary things in the sky, and they didn't even have a telescope. And we can't, like, all this technology, we can't like find out where we came from.
That's a good point.
When I see homeless people on the street that are they look like the age of my parents or my grandparents, it makes me really sad in the moment, because I'm just like, I really want to know what happened and like why there is no one in their life that's like helping them.
Probably it's usually just drugs, honestly. And then like people, it gets to the point where like
they probably had a lot of chances.
Yeah, they got a lot of chances, and it's like, all right, we done our due diligence. It's nothing more that we can do for you, honestly. So
yeah,
that's how it be. Or they come from an environment where they didn't have anybody around them. That's what led them to be homeless or end up on drugs and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's the real world for you.